Hello, welcome everybody. How lucky am I to be in between the two Alastairs?
Pair of Als.
A pair of Als.
It's Alice with a D, Alice with a T.
Yes.
Yes.
With the D cheese.
I'm the tea kind.
Get the spelling right, everybody. Already people are joining us, which is lovely to see. I am in Mulgai in Glasgow. The golfer is at home in Aberdeen. We're in Uncle Alasdair Gillies's and Aunt Angela Gillies's kitchen.
Yep.
Tidied especially for the occasion.
Absolutely.
Well,
Best
no,
things happen
hang
for
on. If you were born and grew up where I was, this is a show house. Whatever state it's in, okay.
Don't tell me you got washed in the sink.
Well, I did actually, yes I did.
I-
I bet, and more than washed in the sink. But we'll say no more about that for the moment.
Lovely to have you with us. Oh, I can see someone arriving, maybe coming to a gin and tonic. I'm not very sure. We're not on the gins yet, but you know, the night is young. Welcome. Let me say hello to Ella. Welcome, Ella, and Maria Thompson and Nancy Wilson. Lovely to have you with us. You're all joining us. Alastair Mcdonald,
Howdy.
legendary Alastair Mcdonald,
For what?
legendary Alastair Gillies, Nancy Wilson, Margaret Reed Mackenzie,
Couple of
evening from
legends.
oh, Mary
Bookends tonight.
Spade. I'm not going to get a word in with either of these two, honestly. Catherine Nicholson, hello from Inverness. Janet Gillis, any relation? Linda Patterson, hello. Janet Gillis is saying hi to everyone. They also, Alistair, they tend to speak amongst themselves.
Right on.
If I go on too long,
Yes.
they start...
They chatter.
They chat, they speak to one another. It is so great having... How long have we known one another?
Quite some years, but I mean, from you were a Gill.
Yeah.
You were a Gill in your dad's show.
Yeah.
And that Callum was very kind to me. He asked me, although I had sung, it was the most shameful thing, Fiona. I had sung, can you believe, on radio and television, and had never actually faced a theatre audience.
Really?
I'd never faced a theatre, and so your dad not only took a big chance, but he also gave me experience that I couldn't buy. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Alastair and the Gillis family and the whole jing bang.
Well, but it's interesting that you should say that because it's a very different technique having the intimacy of a television studio to actually performing.
Well, it normally goes the other way about.
It normally does.
Yeah, normally you're a success in the theatre, clubs or whatever, and people will say, well, maybe broadcasting, we can trust you with broadcasting. It went the other way around. I played with a jazz band, and when the radio producer discovered I also was what you would call today a folk singer, and he could get me free, then I used to get to do a song within the jazz band programme. And then things just sprung forth from there.
And what a career. What a phenomenal career.
It's been, the world has been good to me, as the song says, yes.
Well, it's just great because you've got your guitar, you've got your banjo, and I do know that, you know, there are many, many fans out there. There's been requests coming in all day for Alastair. I mean, I don't want you to feel, I don't want my uncle and I to feel left out.
No, don't worry.
Particularly as we're in your kitchen. I've hijacked your kitchen.
Alice and I have shared so many things over the years, you know, playing together.
Indeed.
It's been great accompanying me. We've been to other kitchens. I remember we were talking about it earlier. We once had to climb into a kitchen to get to the hall. The hall was absolutely jam-packed. We arrived at the hall and we couldn't get in. So we went on to the back and we climbed into the kitchen.
Yes. Well, they'd laid the chairs out in the hall, wall to wall, with no aisle, no centre. Yeah, so we get in through the window at the back. It was quite a new experience for all of us, I'd rather think. But Al made the crack that often we've had to climb out the window to get away. And in reality, I had to once. That was in Colbokie on the Black Isle, the annual football club dance. And they were quite well refreshed when I got on. I did the cabaret spot in the middle of the night. And all because I was on TV quite a lot at that time, more I may say than any artist deserves to have in a lifetime. I seemed to be compressed a lot into TV work. And people were they wanted to talk to me. And the ladies were very overt in their admiration of my work. And
He says modestly.
And so, yeah, because I worked with a guy called Peter Morrison, a big handsome guy. That was normally the migrant. Maybe he's not here, we'll get second best. Maybe whatever the motive was, I don't know. But the guy that was running the concert tried to pay me in the hall. And I said, no, just let's step into the dressing room here. And we went into the dressing room.
You got paid as well.
I got in Nelson Eddy's, I'm here to tell you, yes. No Gregory Peck, Nelson Eddy's. And so I said to him, does that window open in the way? I didn't want to go back out to that. But I said, he said, oh, you'll not get out of there. I said, oh, watch me. And I drooped out, I drove home in the props. The guitar and banjo were handed down to me through the window and off I went.
And you legged it.
And I legged it down that road, baby.
As you will be able to tell, there'll be some music,
Why
but we
not?
have plenty of stories. Alastair, will you kick off with something, because Neil Strachan in Aberdeen is very keen that you play. Well, he's sent in requests, but you start with whatever you would like.
Okay, since I've got the guitar,
yeah,
and let me just see if I can find the key. I rather think I can. And it's one with a chorus,
okay,
and it's one that you'll know, and it's really, yeah. Oh, word is tae the kitchen gane, and word is through the hall that Mary Hamilton's born a bairn tae the highest steward o' all. Yesterday the Queen had 4 Marys, the night she'll hae but 3. There was Mary Seaton and Mary Beaton and Mary Carmichael and me. And it's great asking people, who is the me? And the number of people that will say Mary Queen of Scots. And the song actually was written about 100 years before Mary Queen of Scots was born. And there's different versions of the song in different cultures. And it's usually about a serving wench who's been visited by somebody in authority, and they would say abused today. He used and abused his position until she conceived a child, and then she became an inconvenience. And that really is what the song is saying. Mary Hamilton. Come down, Mary Hamilton. Come down and stand by me. And what's been said and what's been hid, oh, the times that you have come to be. Oh, I bore a little wee son, said she, and I put him there on the sea. And if he would sink, or if he would swim, he'll never come back to me. She was in prison, you see, for disposing of the baby. But this is the teller. Oh, little did my mother ken the day she cradled me, that I would live in a castle braw, but the death that I was to die. For yesterday the Queen had 4 Marys, the night shall hae but 3. There was Mary Seaton and Mary Beaton and Mary Carmichael and me. That one. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate somebody asking for it, because there's one I haven't sung for a long, long time, and I don't know why.
And I'm quite sure many people did not know the story behind it.
Well, probably not. In the same way as people don't know about Loch Lomond being a Jacobite song, and the history to Loch Lomond being not about so much, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low, but you're going off on the high road of life, But the condemned guy who is said to have written that song about Inverarn and his home is on the banks of Loch Lomond. We kind of read into it that it was 2 Jacobite soldiers imprisoned in Carlisle Castle. One was released and the other one was condemned to die. And we read into that his pal grassed him up or turned Queen's Head or whatever it was that had happened and was released as a result of it.
Yeah.
And he was really writing that although he was going to take the low road of death, still his spirit would be back home.
Yeah.
You know, like before his pal that was trudging his way up the road, turncoat that he was, rat bag.
Every song has a story.
Of such stuff as Ballad Reborn.
And a historian here, right in the midst of Uncle Alasdair
The real
Gillies'
history lesson.
kitchen. I know. Uncle Alasdair, you will know anyway, because I know that you generally are sitting in this kitchen watching the kitchen concert. But for those who maybe don't necessarily know, for you, when did you start singing? When were you just always singing?
Well, we went through the mod system when I'd be about 7 or 8 and competed in mods when I was 9, 10 with varying degrees of success. I think I started off being 3rd. I was quite then ambitious and I felt frustrated by that, so I came back and had another go and won the silver medal. I was 10 then. And then after that, we took different competitions. And your mum, of course, was very much part of that whole thing. The family were involved in mods and in Gaelic music and Céilís. The whole life in Glasgow for the Highlander and the Islander revolved around Céilís and associations. It was very special.
And music being the driver of that. Every kitchen had a Céilí.
Yeah, I mean, we were the other night. Sally Magnuson has written a book on the clearances called Music in the Dark, and I suspect she had in mind that the music of the Highlander gave them comfort, and when they were going through the dark times, they turned to music as the lifeline. Really, so that's the way it was. It was my late father, of course, he sang all the time, and he wouldn't.
And he wrote. Your dad
wrote. Yes, and
the Red River Valley.
A Céilí, you see, then was not what we think of as a Céilí now. A Céilí was like your snare.
Yeah, that's right.
A few people, and then you would sing a song. My father would not be happy unless he got a chance to sing. And my mother used to do, another 40 verses.
and he knew all the 40
that
verses.
Was cut down.
I think like Alice, he interspersed a wee story between the verses.
Oh yeah? Well, sure. But I just remember the ingenuity of translating a cowboy song, the Red River Valley, into the red something of the
Glen Telling
yes, the Red Glen River.
Yeah.
You know, that's ingenious, eh? All in Gaelic. Mind you, they did have Gaelic-speaking cowboys. I mean, let's face it, the clearances sorted that, yeah.
So, for you, you're going to sing. We're going to join in with you.
Okay,
it was Mother's Day yesterday in North America. Did you know that it was Mother's Day?
I didn't know. I did not.
I heard from Gary Innes. That's how I know.
And if Gary Innes said it was Mother's Day in America, Gary Innes.
And Canada.
I'd like to say a nice shout out actually to Gary Innes because and Jennifer Cruikshank, the producer of Take the Floor, and
kept that music going.
They are phenomenal team, and Jennifer as a producer is fantastic, and they made a lovely programme very recently, still on iPlayer, on my dad. And if you haven't heard it, go to BBC iPlayer and have a listen to the Callum Kennedy special.
It was really beautifully done. Beautifully done.
On Mother's Day, I've saved myself another present. Wow, phew, close thing.
But you were saying that the request yesterday was it for the?
It was from Green Hills of Isla,
Yes.
from somebody in the States. Now, this is a story. The young man wrote the song. He had left the island of Isla. He'd abandoned all the distilleries, but more important than that, he abandoned his mother, and he was thinking fondly of Isla and all the lovely things of Isla, and of course the fondness of his mother. So I thought that was quite appropriate for Mother's Day.
So would you sing? We'll join in.
And it may come as a relief to you to know, Alastair, I remember the key as well.
More than I do.
I know, but no, the trouble is, the times you must have gone to informal Céilís and somebody's been on the piano, a hammerer on the piano, and you don't know what's coming at you at all. Where is Do to be found in this?
Or alternatively, the main singer would come up into his waistcoat pocket and say, "There's my music for you."
Oh, yes, on the back of a postcard.
The green hills of Ireland, oh far, far away, my heart is still yearning, this green glens to stray. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, my heart is in Ireland, my dear Ireland home. I know that in Ireland a dear mother prays for heavenly angels to guide me always. I know she is longing for that day with joy, to see once again her dear wandering boy. The green hills of Ireland, oh far, far away, my heart is still yearning, his green lands to stray. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, my heart is in Ireland, my dear Ireland home. Her face, though 'tis wrinkled with many a long year, with many a sorrow and many a tear, yet no face under heaven is dearer to me, no face in this wide world I long more to see. The green hills of Ireland, so far away, my heart is still yearning, my green lands to stray. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, my heart is in Ireland, my dear Ireland home. Now the love of a sweetheart may sometimes prove true, and oft times it changes the old for the new. But the love of a mother, it's that burning flame. It changes no never, forever the same. The green hills of Ireland, so far, far away, my heart is still yearning, those green lands to stray. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, my heart is in Ireland, my dear Ireland home.
Whoa. There's not a dry eye in the
But
house.
the years have just rolled away.
I
Together
shudder
with
to
the
tell
tears
you.
down the cheeks.
I recorded that last century.
That's true. That's true. A whole century away was that time. Yes.
Well, there are lots of people saying, what a lovely night. Ask Alastair Mcdonald to tell the Sydney Devine story? Or the
Oh.
Sydney Devine story?
Perhaps about the guitar.
About the guitar?
I will.
Yes.
This is absolutely true. Wait till you hear this.
Okay.
So, Sydney had a Gibson guitar. Now, in the rank of guitars, a Gibson's a good one.
Oh.
know, everybody, Elvis yet, you know, and it was the Elvis model, the big flowery one, you know, with the skirt. Oh, it was one. And what had happened was he bought it in London, and it was in a window, and it was going, it was damaged. So Sydney bought it, he brought it back to Glasgow, got it repaired, and I said, "Are you still playing that mammoth Gibson, Sydney?" And he said, "No, I never played it." He said, "I only bought it to get my picture taken with it." It was just going in a piece, like, you see. And I said, "Guys would kill for that guitar. Do you want it?" He said, "Do you want it?" And I said, I would love a Gibson, yes. I really would say yes. He said, "Well, phone me up and we'll make an arrangement for you to pick it up." Now, he said that and we parted. It was in STV. And he was chairing a programme called Shindig by that time. Scottish show.
I remember
Shindig,
it,
yeah, you know the one. And so I didn't, because I thought, he may be kidding. You know, if I'm going to phone him up and say, "Hi, Sid, Alastair here. Remember you said something about a Gibson guitar?" And he was like, "Oh, you didn't think I was serious. What? Give you a Gibson?" I mean, so I didn't phone him. And then there was a show in the Pavilion, a charity show, and with millions of us on it. And there he was, sitting in the back, and he had a different Gibson. I said, "Oh, I see you've got a different Gibson." I said, "You fed up with the old one or something?" They said, "I told you to come and get it, and you didn't." I said, "Well, okay, it doesn't matter. I mean, he said, "No, I gave it to Duncan Findlay." He said, "I gave it to Duncan Findlay. You didn't come back for it." He said, so I said, but look, here's the story. Duncan is a professional guitar player. Yeah. In the realms of guitar players, Duncan ranks high.
He
does. A good player.
But so do you.
Eh?
But so do you.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll give youth the benefit of it. Yeah. and so a better guitar player got a guitar he can use and make the most of it, whereas I would be a folk singer with it. And that's a whole different ballgame. We'll leave that right there. But that's the story about Sydney's Gibson guitar. God bless his memory.
And the moral of that story is, pick up the phone.
Oh yeah, I was a telephone engineer. You'd think I knew how to do it, you know. No, I was afraid of rebuffs. Fiona, why I've never made any romantic advances to you, I'm terrified of rebuffs. You see, so my vanity would not have taken it.
My uncle.
Boy, I slithered into that one big time, didn't I? How nasty.
That's a golfer on the phone now.
Oh,
that will be the golfer
checking up on you.
Right. So here's a clue. Everyone who watches this, Alastair's actually never seen the
No.
He's not.
I'm on. I do have a YouTube page, but I never go on it because I was getting emails from weird people. Please go on.
Well, it goes on Facebook, as all my friends here know, but it also goes on YouTube. So you don't have to be on Facebook. You can go onto YouTube.
I can rush home and watch myself.
So the golfer has a clue, and this has been going on for a long time.
Go on.
So what is, and I hope I pronounce it correctly, a naiad? N-A-I-A-D. What is a naiad? And we're going to sing a song and let not Alastair tell you what it is, because he knows. You probably know too.
I actually think I know.
The golfer is probably watching at home, and there are lots of people tuning in and saying that they're enjoying it very much. So how about, will you and I do something together?
I would like.
What will
okay.
Will we do the Tyree love song? Would that
Okay. Well, could we do the Dark Island? I'd like to do the Dark Island, because folk might like to know that we're in the King's Theatre in Edinburgh. And she's such a fast mover. She said, I don't know where you must have heard him play for somebody, maybe singing, or a Duncan, or somebody playing. But you said, would you write out the chords to the Dark Island, the chords you use to the Dark Island?
Because you write lovely. You have a lovely arrangement.
Oh, I don't. Well, okay. So I got some chords, and I wrote them out. And as I was doing, I said, "Yeah, fine." Played the thing, wrote it down. And I said, "When you proposed doing this?" She said, "Tonight."
a bit like that.
That's bold. I'm going to tell you, that is bold.
You know, there's probably only a couple of songs that are constantly requested for the kitchen concert, and one of them is the Dark Island.
Well, I got it right.
You absolutely.
I guessed correctly. I hope I've got
And this is actually my eldest daughter Hannah's. This is her party piece. I always feel she then took the mantle of it. And,
all right.
And she sings it beautifully.
It's great passing things on to kids, is it not?
It's great. It's great. where the beauty of heaven unfolds by the sea, where the sweet purple heather blooms fragrant and free, on a hilltop high above the dark island. Oh, Isle of my childhood, I'm dreaming of thee, as the steamer leaves Oban and passes Tyree. Soon I'll capture the magic that lingers for me, when I'm back once more upon the dark island. So gentle the sea breeze that ripples the bay, where the stream joins the ocean and young children play, on a strand of pure silver I'll welcome each day, and I'll roam forevermore the dark island. Oh, Isle of my childhood, I'm dreaming of thee, as the steamer leaves Oban and passes Tyree. Soon I'll capture the magic that lingers for me, when I'm back once more upon the dark island. When I'm back once more upon the dark island.
I knew I could win a roll eventually with a bundle of cards.
Those chords.
You sell yourself cheap.
Those chords.
You know, there are two versions of the Dark Island.
Aye.
That one, which was written by a gentleman who used to look
yeah.
after the business, David Silver.
Go
wrote the
on,
words.
yes.
And there's another one which starts in the days long gone by.
Years long gone by.
The years long gone by.
Was that a bloke in Inverness that wrote that?
Yes.
Yes, that's
The
right.
second-
Ross. And there's I think it was a bit of a
Yeah.
dispute as to who
And how.
owned the rights.
And how, yeah.
So I was in the Eden Court Theatre singing, and I was doing whatever it was, medleys and things, and somebody just shouted the Dark Island, and David Silver was sitting in the middle, about the 6th row in the stalls, right in the centre, and I don't know, I just sang the wrong version.
You just slotted it in.
I sang in the years long gone by.
Go on.
Well, he threw a tantrum, and he just stood up in a rage, and he walked out.
I got that tantrum. I know what you're talking about.
Oh.
I met that young man. The father had died.
You're hearing
at
it all
that
now.
time.
You're hearing
What a
Oh, yeah, but the boy was really
emotional
stressed
moment in
by
the Dark
it.
Island.
The boy was really upset by it, and I'm saying, son, you're chewing yourself up. You know, this is not good for you. No. You know, he was really tense.
I know. It's
about it, you know.
it's I guess about what his dad had written versus what David.
That's right.
We're not going to get into the Dark Island debate. We are going to get into what is a naiad, because that's the golfer, and Flores is saying, "Hi, fabulous to see you all." So that's really lovely. And Janie Danielle is watching. You know Janie Danielle. How lovely to have you with us. Have any of you, usually Anne Houston, you know what an iad is? Richard, do you know? Annie MacLeod, Alastair, Farewell My Love. I so love that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we love Farewell My Love too. Maybe we'll see. Molly is saying hello, and Brian Laurelin is saying a nymph. You're absolutely. It's from Greek mythology. It's one of the nymphs.
Water nymph.
It's a water nymph. It's specific to dragonflies and mayflies.
Didn't know that.
That's part of the Greek. The Greek.
Yes.
So the golfer will be happy sitting in his chair with 2 dogs, with his paper, with the telly on. And I would like to say hello to Kirsty in Cruden Bay, Morag,
Cruden Bay.
Morven, Deirdre, Ailey, and Santa, Sam. Would you like to say hello to your boys?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my boys that tower over me, my grandchildren too.
And your how many grandchildren?
Yeah, I've got 2. I'm married very young, as you can plainly see. Yes. Yeah. Okay then. Naturally to Stuart, my eldest son, he plays a great mandolin that he didn't get from me. In fact, I didn't hear him play except my wife and I went along to see a play about Hamish Imlach, the folk singer.
Yeah.
And he was playing in the band. I said, out comes Stuart, with his manager playing in the band. He just must have absorbed it by osmosis.
Yes.
Great player, Stuart. Really well done. I'm proud of you. And Alan lives in Aberdeen.
Yes.
And he gives the lovely grandchildren who are Fergus and Jamie.
Oh, right.
Hi, boys.
Hi, boys.
Sticking.
And look at your grandpa.
Oh, look at that.
Amazing. What are you going to play?
Well, I believe a song called The Weaker Goobery Centipede was mooted.
Yes.
And I'm happy to do that.
And there's also a mystery one I want you to do.
Yes, I'll do that then. But let me do this first.
Okay,
because you will really like this. Interwoven, for instance, in the banjo here. If I play you the verse to a well-known song, a well-known chorus, it illustrates how piano stools are very important things because they contain music. And in sheet music, you find things that you didn't know existed. And I didn't know that this verse existed to this song. But there's a little clue in some of the words. You're only a smile away from friendship, not miles and miles away. Just one little smile can lead to friendship. So let's see your brightest smile today.
Keep your teeth in.
Give a white smile, the kind you cannot hide smile, kind of smile that everyone will heed. Alastair was a dentist for the OK. You're only a smile away from friendship, and friendship is what we all need. And the chorus is, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, oh, when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain. Stop that sighing, be happy again. When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. That was Jack Mulroy's walk-on music. He chose When You're Smiling. And I did in the pavilion one night without knowing, because Jack was on later, that was his walk-on music, and he liked the sound of the banjo, Jack. And he used to say to me, "Magic, marvellous, marvellous. Alastair, see that wee banjo you played? Marvellous, marvellous." He says, "It does marvellous things to people. I see them all smiling, makes them very happy, marvellous, marvellous." And when I wondered where all this flattery was going, he said, "You can go on in front of me anytime." Wasn't that a nice compliment? However, I digress. Aye. Well, the weaker could be centipede. She was very sweet. She was ever so proud of every one of her 100 feet. Early every morning, her neighbours came to glance. She always entertained them with the beautiful little dance. As a leg in number 94 gave 95 a shunt. Legs in numbers 1 and 2 were twisting out in front. As legs numbers 9 and 10 were wriggling up the side. 73 and 74 a day in the Valley Clyde. What a great loss to celebrity come dancing. And now her neighbour, Jenny Longlegs, with jealousy was mad. She went out and bought herself a pencil and a pad. She came a month of mornings and she made a careful note of every step the centipede made, and this is what she wrote. As a leg a number 94 gave 95 a shunt. Legs and numbers 1 and 2 were twisting out in front. As legs numbers 9 and 10 were wriggling up the side. 73 and 74 would be in the Pally Club. And with exaltation, young Jenny Longlegs tried to dance just like the centipede, but she failed and nearly cried. She grabbed hold of the centipede and she said, "Now have a look and show me how you do these steps I've written in my book." Said the centipede, "Do I do that?" and tried to demonstrate. She'd never thought in the thing before and she didn't do too great. Her 100 legs got twisted and she wound up in a fankle. She fractured 14 shin bones, 13 kneecaps and an ankle. Legs numbers 1 and 2 get tied with 3 and 4. Legs and numbers 5 and 6 get trampled on the floor. Legs number was attacked by number 10. 98 and 99 may never dance again. Happy ending though. Oh, the weaker could be centipede, she suffered terrible pain. All of us were very surprised the day she danced again. So now she tells her neighbours, everyone that comes to see, never try an explanation of what comes naturally. As leg number 94 and 95 are shut. Legs and numbers 1 and 2 were twisting out in front. As legs numbers 9 and 10 were wriggling up the side. 73 and 74 were day in the pally. Day in the pally line. I took that. But if I might just very sad, Matt McGinn, who wrote the song, phoned me up at home and sang that to me down the telephone. And Matt, no holding back, sang the chorus every time. But the point was, I thought I knew it. I said, "You've sung that song before," because we wanted to put it on a TV show of new songs. I said, "You've sung that before." "I've never sung it before." So you're the first person to hear it. But I was convinced that I'd heard it before. And the thing was, it was years later in the Mitchell Library, before the internet or anything like that, Mitchell Library, I was researching songs, children's songs. And there was a wee poem that said, "A centipede was happy thus until a toad in fun said, 'Pray, which leg comes after which?' This threw her mind in such a switch, she fell convulsing in a ditch, deciding how to run." Five lines, and it says it all. Matt took 6 verses with a chorus in between each one to give us the same thing. That's cool.
It is a great.
Cool.
I'm sorry I couldn't join in the chorus. I haven't quite got the 75 in.
It's a challenge to fix a fix-up.
I'm deeply impressed. You seem to know it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great song.
Alan and I have staggered our way through that song before.
Well, Uncle Alasdair, I'm putting you on the spot slightly here.
Go ahead.
But unaccompanied for the two of us, in the true tradition, you've taught me lots of Gaelic songs. So the one that I thought that we could maybe do together is Biar Maravami.
All right.
With that, if I start it.
Oh yeah, go on.
And if you want, you can.
Did we start with something else before? Sound the year
No. Well, you can if you like. Do you want to start it with?
Yeah, of course, Alice can always pick up the guitar if you want.
Oh, okay, sure.
Shuffle
You're seeing live here.
Yes, this is live.
So do you want to start with?
Yeah.
Sound the needle, sound the needle, rukumi, sound the needle, sound the needle, boy, sound the needle, sound the needle, rukumi, sound the needle, sound the needle, boy, sound the needle, raramanyor, rukumi, 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 sound the needle, sound the needle, rukumi, sound the needle, sound the needle, boy, sound the needle, sound the needle, rukumi, sound the needle, sound the needle, boy. Biar Maravamindurina Marami Briada, Biar Maravamindurina Kalakingaviari, Biar Maravamindurina Marami Briada, Biar Maravamindurina Kalakingaviari, or Magulik and Magulik in the Raimi, or Magulik in the Hamilton, or Magulik and Magulik in the Raimi, or Magulik in the Hamilton, Biar Maravamindurina Marami Briada, Biar Maravamindurina Kalakingaviari, Biar Maravamindurina Marami Briada, Biar Maravamindurina Kalakingaviari, or Magulik and Magulik in the Raimi, or Magulik in the Hamilton, or Magulik in the Raimi, or Magulik in the Hamilton. Whoa!
Something something about a hooligan is all I can remember. And why did you keep looking at me on that line?
You think it's about hooligans. Actually, I used to sing it quite a lot with some lovely musicians, and they just called it the beer man.
The beer man?
Yeah, beer.
Oh, beer, right.
Beer
Isn't
man.
that
So they just-
musicians are great.
It's almost saying, I wish I'd known last year what I know now.
So for those of you who don't speak Gaelic, you could maybe...
Well, that's it. I mean, I wish I was... wish I last year as I am now. So it's a bit like what if I'd known then what I know now.
Okay,
Yes, I'd be brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like you.
Well, I just remember a guy saying when he was a teenager he thought his father knew nothing. And by the time he became 24 or 25, he was amazed at how much his dad had learned in the 3 years. You know? We're always the same.
We are always the same. Now, what can we... what's the mystery?
Oh, the mystery.
Mystery.
Thank you.
Tell me about the mystery.
Right, okay.
Because he wouldn't tell me. He said, leave it.
Please can I spring it on you? That's what you have.
This is it.
Look, this is as Scottish in origin as anything I've ever sung. It's in a kind of a blues form. It's a kind of an American blues form, but...
We have lots of Americans watching.
Well, right. And
you'll
you'll recognise the framework. Now there is something that's been bothering me. I've worried about it since I've been 3. It's something you've thought about, no doubt, but it's something I can't figure out. 'Cause we don't know much about the standing stones, and the origin of the Sphinx is still unknown. Like naiads, really. But there is something I'd sure like to know. Where do all the odd socks go? I go to my bed with 2 socks on. I wake up in the morning and one of them's gone. Now won't somebody tell me, 'cause I have to know. Where do all the odd socks go, I'm asking. Where do all the odd socks go? I'll look under the bed, I'll look between the sheets, I'll look any old place I might have put my feet. I search and I search, but it soon becomes clear another sock has just disappeared. I go to the drawer to get another pair, but there's over 100 odd socks in there. Now this has been happening all of my life, and if you don't believe me, you can ask my wife. I'd go to my bed with 2 socks on. I'd wake up in the morning and one would be gone. Oh, won't somebody tell me, 'cause I have to know. Where do all the odd socks go? It's a mystery. Where do all the odd socks go? It was your sister, Christine, who told me that your dad Cam's pet hate was odd socks everywhere. Socks with no neighbours. So, if you should see me on the street one day, don't point your finger and sigh and say, there goes Al, he's a sad, sad fella, 'cause one sock red and the other yellow. 'Cause I think I've got the answer to this conundrum, and it ain't the case that I finally found him. But from now on, we're gonna have it made, 'cause I'm buying my socks all the same grey shade. I'd go to my bed with 2 socks on. I'd wake up in the morning and one would be gone. Oh, somebody tell me, 'cause this boy has to know. Where do all the odd socks go? It's a mystery. Where do all the odd socks go? I can remember when socks came 2 to a pair. Where do the odd socks go?
Yeah.
Piece of writing, isn't it?
That is a great...
Good piece of writing. I thought it solved the mystery in the morning. I hated it too. I hated odd socks. And I thought, I know, I'll pin them. It's the washing machine that's gobbling them, you know. So I thought I would buy safety pins. And then I thought, even better, but it shows you how long it had been. I went to buy nappy pins. And they don't sell them anymore.
No,
no. I got them online, I might say, but it was fun going into chemist shops and asking about nappy pins because the admiring glances I got from some of the people with the grey hair.
I wonder how in every household there is a bag with odd socks. And I don't know what we're all waiting for. We recently threw out literally
I'll bet you.
a whole bag.
That's the mystery.
That is the mystery.
And they never turn up at the same time.
No,
they're all in different flavours.
I know. Well, thank you for sharing this with all of us. It's so great. It's so great to have the two Alastairs. Aunt Angela is right there. In case you're wondering, she is here.
Yes,
she's
she's
in
joined
the
the golf
kitchen.
with me.
She is. I don't know if you're filming or taking photographs, but Aunt Angela is right here. Welcome to everybody. We're maybe going to do the Tyree love song.
We can do that any time. Would you like to do that?
That would be rather nice to do. And yes, I think that. I don't know any words for that, but I was going to say hello to Anne Pettigrew Carroll and my sister-in-law Linda Nolan in Dublin. Lovely to have you with us. And James, and they're all shouting in now. Let's see, Mary Morrison. Who is Mary Morrison?
Oh yes,
lovely
yes.
song. Philip Urquhart. Your uncle has not changed a bit.
Exactly.
Says Phyllis. Brian Green, a great concert tonight, he says, as always. And Sheena Reid and Jean Fakeney is thoroughly enjoying the concert. It's been a lovely thing during COVID. Because, I mean, it's just a phone and it's amazing the technology. Now that I did at the beginning, I tended to film upside down and sideways. That was for Australia. But the wonderful thing was my Australian friend Susanna Payman Bradley, who watches this at breakfast, her butler brings her,
into the West Wing.
Into the West Wing. But what has been wonderful is it's connected people all over the world.
I know, isn't that just astonishing?
And that's where technology is just
astonishing.
So fantastic.
Well, I've got folks in Australia as well. I've got a niece, Edith, and her good man there, and my brother Ian stayed and died in Australia. When we decided we were coming home, I was too young to leave there. I was nearly 12, but Ian was 9 years older than me, and he said, "You guys can go back if you like. I'm an Aussie." And the marvellous thing was, when he did visit over here, he never kind of like gawped, "Oh, Glasgow." He never sort of burst into tears at the mention of a Sunday Post or a Black Pudding or anything like that. He was an Aussie, a committed Aussie. I mean, you think about it. That's really, that's the way nationality is. It's where you commit yourself to.
And actually only this
week... We can remember heritage.
My cousin Sean McInnes and his wonderful lady Jeannie, they arrive on Wednesday, and but the McInneses have been in Canada for a very long time, and I think probably they have a huge fondness and love of Scotland, but they're essentially Canadians, and I guess that's the way it should be.
That's right. Sandy, the eldest of the girls, her daughter now has made a career on television. A programme called The Bold and Beautiful.
Okay.
From I think it's 121 countries. It's shown. They've just integrated into that society.
Yes.
And it's terrific. So anyway, we're looking forward to seeing Sean and Jeannie
absolutely.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
A very quick word too, may I say to the folks in Australia, a Scottish boy went out there. He worked with punk bands of all things, but he wrote a marvellous song. It's a very sad song, and go cautiously to it. But it's called He Fades Away, and it was about a mine in a place called Whittingham in north of Australia, an asbestos mine. And I thought about this. It was finally closed down in 52, but we went out in 1949. And had I not had an auntie and uncle outside Sydney that gave us a home, my parents could well have finished up in one of these camps that got its labour from there, and the camps were sited beside the asbestos mine, and not a lot of attention was being paid to the fact that guys were dying, and so this song is worth the hearing just for the genius of a good and well put together song about a very sad occasion, but it makes us think, and that's what I like about songs. It's called He Fades Away.
He Fades Away.
Some night, God willing, we'll maybe get to sing it, or I'll do it myself, and sometimes we'll do it, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that was great. I really enjoyed it. So listening to Alastair's such a great raconteur.
I know.
Great, super.
I'd rather be able to tell stories if you would mind.
But actually, both of you, the great thing that you have in common, I would say, is just how wonderfully you communicate with audiences and how
enjoy what we do
and loving what you do and loving what you do.
What a career you've had, my dear.
How about hurry hurro?
How about that? I hope I've remembered the key.
What key is it?
I think it's C. I think it's round about there.
I think it's C. I think.
It would sound better, I don't doubt, on a silly Divine Gibson. But here we go. We'll make do with this one if you will.
Hurry hurro, my bonny wee girl. Hurry hurro, my fair one. And will you be my love, to be my own, my rare one. Smiling the land, shining the sea, sweet is the scent of heather. Would we were yonder, just you and me, the two of us together. Hurry, hurro, my little wee girl. Hurry, hurro, my fair one. And will you go with me, my love, to be my own, my rare one?
If I trample all over your words, Fiona, forgive me, it's just the curse of being a solo performer is you get to make it up if you try, you know. So I'm doing a bit of fishing in this one.
I make it up as well.
Go ahead, make up some more, I love it.
All the day long,
yes,
out in the peat, then by the shore in the gloaming, stepping in lightly with dancing feet, and we together holding.
There's someone.
Hurry, hurro, my bonny wee girl. Hurry, hurro,
my fair one, and will you
come with me, my love, to be my own, my rare one? Just give me a little something. And I'm thinking if there's another verse. There is another verse.
There is another verse, yeah.
But you've put me off now.
Oh, I know I've put you off now. I'm good at that. Upstaging, that's what that is. You have to nail me down.
Laughter,
We're done
love, singing galore, skipping in lightsome and airy. Could we be asking of life for more? My own, my darling Mary. Hurry, hurro, my little wee girl. Hurry, hurro, my fair one. And will you go with me, my love, to be my own, my rare one? I tell you who will be really delighted with that. I had the very great privilege of having an in-conversation with Jackie Kay, who was the Poet Laureate of Scotland, the Macker, and she came up to St Margaret's in Braemar, and we had the loveliest chat. And in the middle of the chat, she said that growing up in Glasgow, the song that her mum would sing her would be this.
Yeah.
And then she said, I was supposed to be interviewing her, and she said, would you just sing that? You know,
No,
so So it was, and
Okay.
it was in St Margaret's.
It's a live,
Beautiful.
that's a live happening.
Yeah,
Is
it
that?
was special.
You've been into, well, good for you getting into. I was heckled by Hamish Henderson. So there, if we're going to go into a pecking order.
There's someone I really want to say hello to, and it is Frank Thompson, who regularly plays on the kitchen concert. Wonderful accordion player. Right. He's been in hospital for a small op. Everything's gone well. He's doing great. I had a chat with him. He's confined to barracks for 2 weeks, but I know that lots of people who are watching will be asking for Frank, and both the golfer and I, and we're all sending lots
We think you're brilliant, Frank. Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone.
And hospital's never the best place to be, but you're there for the right reasons.
Yes.
Yeah. So just rest up.
He's out now, and he's not good at doing what he's told. Are you good at doing what you're told? Are any of us?
Ask me again.
Are any of us?
Ask me tomorrow.
It's been just so lovely to have you here. I don't know whether we could finish off. Uncle Alasdair, what were you thinking of? You were thinking of something.
Mary's wedding.
Mary's wedding, but we were thinking of the Barras.
With banjo. No, Mary's wedding.
Oh, Mary's wedding.
If we're closing down,
Okay.
I'll get us all together, and it's got the banjo, which I love.
Okay,
just
right.
simply love it. And I toured once with a play of the Tales of Parahandy, and I just loved watching the actors work out in that play. They told the stories, and they were all terrific. We toured ports around the Highlands. The Tales of Parahandy. It was lovely. Step wheelie on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm in arm and roll, all for Mary's wedding. Roll the hillways up and down, little green and bracken brown, past the Sheeley through the town, all for sake of Mary. Step wheelie on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm in arm and roll, all for Mary's wedding.
Brighter eye than any star, fairest of all and all by far,
is our darling Mary. Step wheelie on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm in arm and roll, all for Mary's wedding. Plenty head and plenty mule, plenty peak to fill her creel, plenty body bends as well. Let's a toast for Mary. Step wheelie on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm in arm and roll. I can sing a chorus. Oh, step wheelie on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm in arm and roll, off for Mary's wedding. Just like that. Good fun.
Alasdair,
Really fun.
thank you for joining.
My pleasure.
Oh,
Thank you, Fiona.
And if you don't watch these kitchen concerts now,
I know.
and send it to Australia,
It's compulsive
and
viewing.
Christian, you've got to share it so that everybody knows what's going on.
Yes.
That's the bit I'm not very good at. On Friday, Mary Cooter Kirk doing a concert there on Friday. I know it. I think it's sold out, which is brilliant. But hello to Kathleen Downey and everyone at Mary Cooter Kirk. Really looking forward to it. And in a couple of weeks' time, Susie Boggess, Braemar at St Margaret's, Susie Country singer extraordinaire.
Oh, yes.
So on Wednesday,
Yeah.
Lydia Hutchison is arriving, Joy Newby's arriving, all my Nashville friends are arriving, and we're heading up to Braemar. You need to come.
Only if asked.
Well, you're asked. You're invited.
I will not press myself upon you. I mean,
if you're in the area, come and see us in Braemar. Uncle
Great.
Alasdair, thank you.
That was great. That was super.
And Angela, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Lots of people are saying. Jamie Sutherland was wondering, are you there? Are you here? She's here. She's here. Thank you. Come and say. Come and say au revoir.
She supplies a mean Fanta. I've got to say.
She's being shy. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time. And a big hug to Frank. Bye.
God bless you. Bye. Bye.